1, 1, 2. Check me out right here, yo.
Mike the Choop Jackson, back with I guess we've been on a little hiatus. We don't bring the Fighters Talk back. I know it's been a little while, but I had to bring it back. I think we need to get the fighters out here a little bit more, give them a little bit more pub. Anyway, I'm here today at 4 Ounce Fight Club with the one and only, the Machine Gun.
Bang, 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 bang. What's up,
Artenas
baby?
Young, man.
In the house.
We ain't seen you in a while.
Oh, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. It feels good to be back in the circuit, you know, back at home, man. It feels real good.
Last time we saw you, you were taking on a cat out over at, I believe, IMKM. You were in the cage. Well, we didn't see you too long, man. It only took you 4 seconds to get rid of that, man.
It was a blessing. That was a blessing.
Since then, now that you look back at that, how do you feel about that fight? It was your first one at 170.
Yeah, that was just about to say. That's the biggest thing about it, man. It was like my first fight at 170, so it was a feat in itself, man. Then the fight was 4 seconds. You know, it was crazy, man. It made it monumental. You know, there's no words that can really describe that moment, that fight, that night. I'm ready to get back at 170 and do it again somewhere.
Recently, we know you had some lined up with Legacy Fighting Championships. It was possibly the biggest fight of your career. You were set to take on UFC vet Matt Riddle. You know, he was coming off a win streak. You know, he's having his issues with the UFC. They released him. Mick Maynard was fortunate enough to sign him, but it seemed like, you know, he really didn't want to fight, man. What's your thoughts on Matt Riddle jumping ship?
Man, it's real simple, you know, and I'm gonna look right at the camera, man, because, you know what I mean, I'm talking to you, Riddle. I know, you know, you're gonna come across this, or your people will, or somebody. Man, you guys are scared, and you know it, man. It is what it is. Matt Riddle's a great fighter, don't get me wrong. I don't mean no disrespect, because I'm not disrespecting his fighting skill. But he knew it was a one-fight deal. You know, this debacle went on with him for a while. So it wasn't a contract thing or nothing, man. It was like, look, one fight against, you know, me, and you're out the contract. It was simple. You know, you're obligated, you agreed to it, let's do this, and then you're out the contract. And then lo and behold, you know, he pulls the okie doke and, you know, skips out of town, you know, for that fight. But, you know, hey, I don't blame him, you know what I mean? I don't blame you, man. You know, it's the Machine Gun. I'm not here to lose. And I think at this point, he knew that. You know, it was clear that he was taking a bigger risk than he planned for fighting me. And he knew that. And so, you know, he backed out the fight. He did the best thing he can do to back out.
So, you know, Bellator bought out his contract. How do you think Matt's going to do, I guess, in the whole Bellator circuit? How do you think he fits into that picture?
You know, actually, man, he fits well over there. Hey, you know, right now at that weight, Ben Askren's running it. They're real similar. You know, real boring. You know, lay and pray type of guys. Really no skills. I mean, he knew that if he had to fight me, he would have to bang. He ain't want to bang, man. The boys don't want to bang. So I think he'll do decent over there, man. He'll lay and pray on a lot of guys, and you know, take advantage of that. And you know, he's a big name more than he is a big talent. So you know, if he ever grows those steel pair that he once had, you know, he'll get in the cage with the Machine Gun. We'll settle that.
Man, I was definitely looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Again, that was going to be the biggest test of your career, man.
Biggest fight, man. Biggest fight.
I fell through. So, what's next? You know, I've heard some names being tossed around, but it seems like 170 in I guess the Texas area. You know, since Matt, you know, he's gone. But we look at, there's some talent out here at 170 pounds here in Texas, not just Houston. You know, Legacy's on they're on a bigger scale than just Houston right now. So why can't we find you a fight? You know, especially on the July card.
You know, and real quick, I'll just let you know, for all my sponsors and potential sponsors, you know, the doors are not closed for July. You know, that's still a possibility. We're still working on the ins and outs of that. But without a doubt, I'll be fighting in August also. So any sponsors out there, my sponsors right now, Saved and, you know, So South, you guys take care of me. Don't worry, we still got fights coming up. You know, we might get a 2-1 on this deal. But pushing on with that. As far as opponents, man, you know, it's like this has been a problem for me for a while, Mike. You know, ever since it seems like every weight class I'm at, when I was bigger, it seemed like a little more brave guys. But on my way down to this 170, it's hard to get guys to commit. You know, they say yes and they do their homework and they back out. You know, I'm different. I came to 4 Ounce, man, and I changed my whole entire career. I changed everything. You know, everybody knows that, man. My fight style is different. The 4-second fight didn't show much, and I'm not saying every fight's gonna be that way, man. But it's a different style. It's a different me. It's a different Machine Gun. Now you got to deal with me. You got to deal with everything I bring to the game. And I think that just seems like it's intimidating a lot of you 170ers out there, man. And the way I look at it right now, there's a guy out there named Frank Trevino. He's the 170 champion for the STFC, man. He's a bum. You know, mark my words, he's a bum. He's a coward. You know, man, this guy just recently, man, was offered a fight with me, and you know, he just bagged. You know, they just boasted the fact that he signed on the Legacy recently,
right,
which was a big deal for this guy, man. This guy's 10-0.
Yeah, we published that over at MikeTheTruth.com. That Legacy had picked him up. We were definitely looking forward to seeing him compete. Undefeated fighter. What happened with that?
Yeah, man, undefeated guy. You know, he's been fighting bums all his career. He got offered a fight with me. Legit fighter, man. Time to make your career worth something. Right. And he's a no-show. He's a no-show, no-go. You know, possibly will lose my spot on this card in July because of this coward. And you know, this coward needs to fight. This is what we do. We're warriors. So the only reason why I disrespect you right now, because man, I reached out to you man to man and try to speak to you about this and let you know how important it is that we fight as competitors, as warriors, as gladiators. You gave me no response. You showed no respect. So you show me you're a coward. And if you ever grow a pair, then you'll call Legacy. You'll contact me. You'll make this fight happen in July. Don't be afraid, man, of destiny. It is what it is. If you're as good as your record is, then you won't be afraid to fight. And that's plain and simple. So, you know, outside of that, looking for opponents, man, because enough talking about that coward. You know, outside of that, looking for opponents. I know in August we got Big Head Davila, I think is the name been tossed around.
Man, that's an exciting fight right there.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. You know, somebody's gonna get in our band with me, man. Big ups to Big Davila, man, Big Head Davila. You know what I mean, for stepping up, willing to fight the machine gun, man. We know I'm a one of a kind, and I'm bringing something new, man. Davila's a good fighter, and you know he's a respectful guy. I hope that fight really, you know, formulates and comes together so we can get in there and mix it up for the fans live on Access TV for, you know, all the Legacy fans and much more in the Machine Gun Nation out there. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, man. You know, that and whoever steps up for July 19th.
I hope we find somebody. I hope Legacy, you know, the guys over there, hopefully they find someone for you in July. But if not, we'll definitely, you know, see you in August. Machine Gun.
Exclusive, MikeTheTruth.com. Holla at your boys, man. We out here as MG Nation. I love y'all. Thank you for the support.